We had a blast at StarCast 6. A huge thank you to everyone who attended. And if you want to relive our stage show experience, you can with Premier Streaming Network. Over 20 stage shows took place StarCast weekend. From comedy shows, design panels, musical performances, talk shows, and more. Including a live edition of AEW Unrestricted with CEO Tony Khan. Sign up for Premier Streaming Network today and check out the shows available now on demand and in HD. And if you sign up today, you'll get 2 months free of Premier Plus. Enjoy the amazing lineup of content that Premier Streaming Network offers, including all 5 previous StarCast stage show lineups. Hundreds of hours of fantastic wrestling content at your fingertips. Visit StarCastOnPremiere.com.
Cold as a razor blade, as tight as a tourniquet, like the skin on a dying man.
I don't want a piece of the world. I want the whole world.
I make my own rules because it's much easier that way.
Trust me.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus D'Angelo, and we are back with another episode of The Snake Pit. And of course, we couldn't do it without the man himself, Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake, you look busy over there. What's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to get my dumb ass situated.
So just so you guys know, Jake is on the road. He is very, very busy. He's actually out in Wyoming right now. We're recording this one ahead of StarCast, and what will be an incredible experience, I'm sure, is Jake and I do a live show out there, which will be available on pay-per-view. So yeah, it's he's doing it from his phone today, but hey man, we're committed to bringing you guys fresh content, right, Jake?
Got to, bro. Starts to smell after a while.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you what, though, something that's always going to stay fresh is Ask Jake Anything, which is what we're doing today. It'll be our 11th edition. However, before we get into all these fan questions, and we got a ton of them, we do have to talk about what's been going on a little bit. We suffered a couple tough losses this past week, and I'd like to talk about them both here at the top of the show. Jake, first, Terry Funk. I mean, just a one-of-a-kind performer, a legend. What can you talk to us about when it comes to Terry?
Probably one of the greatest performers ever. Terry was just one of a kind, man. One of a kind, and he always gave 1,000% and went above and beyond what was expected of him. He was a trailblazer. He did things nobody else even thought about doing. And it's my pleasure to have spent some time with him. And just a hell of a guy.
He was, man. It's you talk about a true one of one, somebody that's hard to compare anybody to in wrestling. That's a big thing nowadays. Is guys from your era get compared like, oh well, who's like the modern day equivalent of that guy? When it came to Terry Funk, it's really hard to come up with one because he was just so unique.
Yeah, he was unique, man, and wow, I just feel so blessed to have been around him at times, and just some of the things that he said to me were just so in tune with what was really going on, and sometimes some of the things he said were just hard to conceive, just
right.
hard to bring up and make sense out of it. But then once you did, you're like, holy shit, he's right.
Jake, I gotta ask you, what do you think Terry's legacy is in professional wrestling?
Anything he wanted, brother, it was there. It's been a real rough week. Not only did we lose Terry, we lost one of the greatest new talents in Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
He had so much to give, and he had just gotten started. And that one will be sorely missed for a long time. I want to put the word out there to to my friend Mike and his brother, and just let you know I love you, man, and so sorry. So sorry this has happened to the family.
Man, there's no combination of words that's gonna make a loss like that, right? Bray was Wyndham. He was a young man still, born in 1987. He still had his whole life ahead of him, and that life was cut short. And man, it's tough. And Jake, I know you got to spend a little bit of time around Bray, and I also know, a question that comes up here on the podcast a lot is Jake, if you could fantasy book yourself against just about anybody, who would it be? And the answer you always seem to come back to is Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt. I wanted to do a strippers pole match with him.
The strippers pole match.
Yeah.
Man, missing in wrestling today, the strippers pole match.
Yeah, it's big, man.
So I have to imagine the pole is like greased up, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
And there's like panties at the top of it. You got to go get.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's book it. AEW, Tony Khan. Let's get this thing rolling. Well, look, yeah. On a more serious note, on behalf of everybody here with ad-free shows in the Snake Pit, we want to wish both families all the best, and we'll be praying for you guys and thinking about you guys during this difficult time. And yeah, I mean, two guys, indelible legacies they've both left behind, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's such a raw deal to lose Bray at such a young age. I can't imagine what else he had to give. And him and I talked a few times about interviews and stuff, and I like to think that I helped him, but he didn't need much help. He had it rocking.
He was really sharp, and that's the thing that we hear all the time, is that like he was very imaginative and innovative. But Jake, I would say that he did borrow from you a little bit. Back when he was doing his Wyatt family stuff before he became the Fiend, it's a lot. Every time he would cut a promo, you'd get online and see like, boy, Jake the Snake Roberts has got to be smiling.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Well, all the best to those two families. And, it's difficult to move on and be lighthearted after discussing a couple difficult losses like that. But we're going to give it a shot. We've gathered fan questions. We're going to do our 11th edition of Ask Jake Anything, like I mentioned. And look, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. What happened to doing SummerSlam 1988? Well, don't worry. Next week, we're going to pick right back up with SummerSlam 88, the 35th anniversary. And man, we've got a whole bunch of fun shows this September. But without any further ado, all right, let's go ahead and jump into these questions, Jake. Uncle J89 asks, what's the one match and storyline you would go back and change? And what would you change about it? Anything stick out?
Yeah, the Savage in me,
Okay.
That whole storyline was so good, and it was cut so short. They hadn't even touched the tip of that.
Right.
And all of a sudden they snapped it off, and that was it. Which made me sick, because, hell, we didn't even go all the way around,
Yeah.
And for it to be cut that short, it was just disgusting. But what am I? I don't know. Yeah, that's the one that sticks out.
That was one of those ones too that, your final WrestleMania, of that run was coming up here, the WrestleMania 92. And it just would have made sense for you and him to make it all the way there with that rivalry.
Absolutely. That's what I expected, and for it to be cut short. And once again, got the shaft on that one.
Now, you and I discussed it on the first ever episode of the Snake Pit, where we talked about this Tuesday in Texas. And if I remember right, did you say that it was cut short due to the slap to Elizabeth? Was that a big part of it?
That was part of it, because her family they revolted, man. They went psycho on Randy. Randy was no longer allowed at the house. He had promised the family that Liz would never get hurt. because unfortunately Randy and Liz had never smartened them up to the business.
Oh gosh.
So when I slapped her, that was the end of the shit, brother.
So Liz's family saw you slap their daughter and thought it was a shoot, that you just slapped her right there.
Let it happen.
Wow. Guys, go back and listen to or watch that first episode of the Snake Pit, because we also watch Jake's promo after slapping Elizabeth, and like just the salacious nature of that promo and the way that Jake delivers it. My goodness, it is something.
Yeah, it was nasty.
It was. Richard J. Conroy is up next. Would you have stayed longer in Mid-South if they had offered you the booking job in 1986?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. There's nothing like booking. When you're the guy that everybody looks to for content, for ideas, for storylines, on how to develop new talent, it's a great thing, man. Well, I get high just thinking about it. And you see the smile on my face, man. I love to think about that shit. Had they given me the book, I would have stayed till the wheels fell off.
Now, do you think that you would have stopped wrestling and focused on booking if you had become the head booker there?
No, I'd have stayed wrestling.
It's interesting too, because you had done some booking when you were in Georgia,
Right.
as you mentioned, you were an active wrestler at the time. We see though where some guys can't handle that responsibility of
Right.
of booking while being a wrestler. Dusty Rhodes was great, and all the stuff he did was great, but I know that like the Four Horsemen were getting really frustrated because Dusty kept booking himself to go over at these big events.
Imagine that.
Right. So it's interesting that you were able to like kind of find a balance with it, where I think a lot of guys struggled.
Yeah, it didn't ever matter to me who went over. You don't have enough talent to persevere losing a match, then you're in the wrong damn business.
Perfectly said.
If you go out and do your job right, the fans don't even remember.
That's exactly it, man. And like a lot of your matches, whether you went over or not, like the idea was that you wanted them to leave and be thinking about or talking about you, right?
That's it.
And it worked. Jake, it's interesting that we mentioned booking there, because this next one caught my interest, because ever since you mentioned your desire to book today, even just 15 minutes per episode, I've been seeing questions about it. And here's one from Gregory Kirby. Hi, Jake. If you could completely redo Luchasaurus's gimmick, what would you do with him? He's huge and can really move, so I feel like he could be used better.
Yeah, I think he could be used better too, man. I don't know what I would do, but I mean, I like the gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's fun for the kids. Definitely is a baby face, though.
Really?
Yeah.
See, when I read that, my first thought was, oh, Jake would make him a heel because he's huge.
No. I'd keep him as a baby face. With that gimmick, I would.
He's a merchandise seller. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Certainly something for the kids. NFL football is back, and if you're a huge fan like I am, it's always the most wonderful time of the year. Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? It's crazy, right? Well, the wait is over. The NFL is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you can get. Download now and use code SNAKEPIT to sign up. Again, new customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SNAKEPIT, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.com/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Okay, guys, let's hit the pause button to tell you about WrestleQuest from MegaCat Studios, which is now available. Man, we have heard the hype for this game, and let me tell you right now, it is real. Incredible reviews, legendary stars, and a wrestling gaming experience like none you have ever had before. WrestleQuest is a love letter to classic role-playing games, the pixel art games of our youth, and the golden era of professional wrestling. Powerbomb your way through a massive game where the worlds of toys, action figures, and wrestling collide. This is a sweaty, spectacular pro wrestling take on the cherished Japanese role-playing games. We're talking about 40 plus hours of core story content and 20 plus fully licensed pro wrestling legends like our man Jake the Snake, Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, DDP, Jeff Jarrett, and much more. The list spans decades in various promotions featuring talent from all over the world. More than just statues, each legend has their own side quest. Players can earn the wrestler's signature gear or the right to call upon their finishing moves in combat. In some cases, the wrestler may even join the player as their manager. Cut promos on your opponents before fighting them in the ring and customize your walk-on routine, including theme music, pyrotechnics, and other effects. WrestleQuest is available now for PC, consoles, and mobile, and let me tell you guys, as a gamer, this is not a game that you're going to want to miss. This game is going to set a new standard in pro wrestling gaming, and I, for one, cannot wait to start playing it. Again, it's WrestleQuest. Download your copy right now. Alan Scuzzy Bacula? I don't know. Was Cheryl smart to the business when you met her, and was she a wrestling fan? Did she know who you were when you met?
No, she knew who I was when we met, but she didn't give a damn. She didn't care for me. She was quick to let me know that.
Not a wrestling fan?
Yeah. She wasn't much of a wrestling fan, but she knew who I was, and she thought I was disgusting.
Disgusting? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, did you would have met her? Was it while you were in Georgia?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. In fact, I was doing the angle with Ronnie Garvin, and the reason I smartened Cheryl up is Ronnie Garvin and I had done a strap match in the Omni.
Mm-hmm.
And there had been some strap matches before that the guys didn't really lay them in. But Ronnie Garvin and I laid them in. I mean, I was cut all to hell, so was he. She wasn't smart, so we go out the back of the building, and I'm letting her help me to the car. You know, I'm being a real dick, you know. Oh, baby, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the car. Oh, get the bag too. Oh.
Might need a massage tonight.
I'm selling this shit, brother. So we go to the car, and she opens the door, and she lets me in. And I get in, and she goes around, and she's standing outside the car, but all I can see is her belly button, you know. She's staying close to the car. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? And I'm like, Cheryl. She won't answer me. So finally I get up and I stand up. And when I stand up, I'm looking right down the nose of a pistol.
Whoa.
She's about to shoot Ronnie Garvin.
In the parking lot.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Don't do it. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
So I had to do the quick reverse and smarten her ass up pretty quick.
Yeah. Did Ronnie see the gun?
Oh, yeah.
Was he shitting himself?
He was laughing his ass off.
So I have to ask, you're out there selling it like, oh, well, I don't even know if I can carry this bag. And right after you have to be like, wait a minute. It was.
Yeah. So I had a tough night, man. She was really pissed off.
I can imagine. I'm picturing my own wife's reaction, and oof, boy,
Oh, brother, I paid a heavy price that night.
you were probably hurting even worse after
Oh,
with the strap match.
I wasn't getting any soothing things either.
So Bluefin Chris asks, Jake, did you ever see the Shockmaster incident in WCW? If you haven't, I have the video.
Well, show me the video because I think I have seen it, but I need to be refreshed.
All right, this will be a fun refresher.
Gonna let Sting tell the people who the secret partner is gonna be. All I have to say is our partner is going to shock the world because he is none other than the Shockmaster! All right! The Shockmaster!
I told you. Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh, it gets better.
I don't care who you are, boy! I don't give a damn who you are! You're gonna have us! You're gonna have Van Vader! And we're gonna be breathing through your neck!
So you're the man that rules the world. They call me the Shockmaster. You've ruled the world long enough, Sid Vicious. Get ready. Come on, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?
That was the Shockmaster. Jake, immediate thoughts?
Wow.
The part that really stands out to me is that you can hear Flair afterwards going, "Oh God, oh no."
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. And Sid's got to sell it like he's intimidated. And here's a little factoid for you, Jake. Do you know who the voice of the Shockmaster was?
Dusty?
That was Ole Anderson backstage on a mic.
Was it Ole?
Yep.
Well, that was the best part of it.
And do you know who the Shockmaster was, by the way? Did you recognize him in that brief moment?
No.
That was Typhoon, Fred Ottman.
Yeah, I thought. That's what I thought.
So like completely derailed what he was doing in WCW, and I guess they were going to build him up, and he was about to tag with Sting, top guy, and it completely derailed everything for him. But his silver lining, Fred Ottman now has one of those masks on his table at autograph signing, so I think he's made a nice living off of it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Something good's got to come out of that. Holy shit.
Man, that was fucking horrible.
Yes. And Jake, let me follow that up with a little question. Has there ever been a moment in wrestling that you were there for, that you witnessed, that was just an embarrassment like that was?
What do you think? Yes.
All right.
This was going way back.
Okay.
1976. The guy would later come to the WWF as Prince Offie or Offie something or another.
Okay.
He was Samoan, and he did a fire dance with his baton,
Mm-hmm.
7 foot long.
Yeah.
He could spin it, with either hand. He could lay on his back and do it with his feet. And both ends are on fire, right?
Great.
So what happens is he's been practicing this shit in my hotel room. And we decide we're going to get stoned.
Oh boy.
So I had some really good shit. I got so fucked up he could barely stand up. So we go to the building and it's time for his fire dance. And he goes out there and does it. And as he's spinning it, a piece of the burlap falls off and falls on top of his head.
Oh no.
And you see the flames start to grow. And now he's flipping it with one hand and he's hitting his head. It was funnier than fuck, man. Oh yeah, he burned a big cone in his head, man. Big afro, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was funny.
Oh, amazing. I wish there was a video of that one out there, like the Shockmaster.
Oh yeah.
Man. So that was you said early WWF days?
Oh, this happened in with Stu Hart.
Oh, that's right. You said 76.
Yeah.
Dude,
Man,
amazing.
it was.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to talk about our new sponsor, Fume, and their incredible product. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor or replacing one bad habit with another. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume. They look at the problem in a different way. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong, so instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-nominated device that does just that. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses all-natural, delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing and anxiety while breaking your habit. I got my Fume in the mail and I was blown away by the amazing flavor. With options like crisp mint, orange vanilla, maple pepper, and more, there's truly something for everyone and every preference. Also, I am definitely a fidgeter, and Fume scratches that itch as well. It's perfectly balanced, feels great in my hand, and acts as a great stress reliever. Also, it just looks cool. The design includes real wood, a sleek look, and a great shape. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 100,000 customers and has thousands of success stories. There's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use code SNAKE to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack. That's tryfum.com and use code SNAKE to save an additional 10% off your order today. Okay, everybody, let's take a quick minute to discuss one of my favorite partners. We're talking about AG1 and how they have truly transformed my life with their daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I used to start every day taking a bunch of multivitamins, or how about worse, mixing a healthy shake. The vitamins were expensive and annoying, and to get the shake right, you've got to go shopping. You've got to get every single ingredient, and then you've got to clean the blender. You've got to take the blender apart and clean the blades, and it's such a pain in the butt. It takes up so much time. Nearly a year ago, I started drinking AG1 every day because I was fed up with that morning routine, and it is truly a game changer for me. Now I have a single solution that supports my entire body and covers my nutritional bases every single day. I wanted more energy. I wanted to make sure that my immune system was well supported, especially with my young daughter in daycare bringing home germs every day. I also wanted better gut health, and I wanted a simple solution to incorporate into my daily routine that I enjoyed the taste of. AG1 checked every single box. Here's the best part for me, guys. It's easy. My schedule is very full every single day, and AG1 made life easy by providing 75 high-quality ingredients that give me key daily nutrients by simply mixing 1 scoop in a cup of water. That's it. I drink it, and I'm done. It's an easy micro habit that delivers macro results. I know what your next question must be. How much does it cost? That's always my next question. Well, how about less than $3 a day? Break the habit of going to Starbucks or going to the gas station and getting a coffee and a breakfast and a bunch of calories that you don't need. Spend less money and get a science-driven formulation of vitamins, probiotics, and whole food source nutrients instead with AG1. Now that is a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Just go to drinkag1.com/snake. That's drinkag1.com/snake, SNAKE. Check it out, guys. I can guarantee you will not regret it. Barry Flynn is next. On an early episode, you and Marcus talked about Tully Blanchard testifying on your behalf in court. Was wondering about your history with Tully.
Not much.
Really?
Not much at all. No. I met him. I may have met him once or twice before the WWF.
Interesting, because when I saw, and when I read this, I was like, oh yeah, that was in the notes for one of our episodes where I think it was like him and Dusty both testified on your behalf. I guess he was just more of a character witness, probably for like professional wrestling.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. And it's also interesting you guys weren't crossing paths much. You're both paths much. You guys are both Texas boys.
Yeah, you'd have thought we would have, but Cully was about a year or so in front of me as far as getting where you want to be,
Ah, okay.
I was still trying to get to the spot, and he was already at the spot.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, man, we bring it up on here sometimes, like, oh God, who's a guy that Jake could have done a great program with that he never got to work with. The one that always stuck out for me was Jeff Jarrett. I think that the two of you would have had a hell of a program. But Tully Blanchard got to be a close second.
Yeah, Tully would have been great.
Philip DeSanto asks, Jake, I recently saw a video of you wrestling Jim Neidhart as who? Why the hell did they put Jim Neidhart in that gimmick?
Who the fuck knows? That was so fucking ridiculous, man. Ooh.
Like a dude with like that experience and that kind of name value and notoriety, and they're like, I have an idea. Let's put him in this mask.
Call him the Who. I wanted him to call him the Mole Man.
That was my next question. I heard about this. Can you talk to us about this gimmick?
Yeah, the Mole Man was going to be a situation where he wouldn't come to the ring till they turned all the lights off. And then when he'd come to the ring, he'd jump the guy and beat the fuck out of the guy when the lights come on and the match is already over.
I think that could work.
Oh, fuck yeah, it could work.
Plus, he had that, he was a stocky little sort of dude, it kind of works. He looks like a mole.
He had the voice too. It's much too bright to come out. I'm not coming out. It hurts my eyes.
Wait a minute. So I'm starting to get the fuller picture now. Like his music would start playing and then he'd come over the house can't do it, guys.
Turn them off. It burns my eyes.
Of all the missed opportunities in pro wrestling, I think you just sold me on that one. That could have been something.
The mole would have been awesome, brother.
Damn it. All right. Well, look, somebody.
Like the babyface would make a big comeback by having a flashlight in his pocket. Hits right in the eyes with the flashlight. He goes down. You cover him. 1, 2, 3. The Mole Man has been beaten.
Who did you pitch this in like '96? That's when he was who?
Yeah, no, I didn't pitch it. I just told Neidhart about it. He loved it.
Man, could have been something special. Well, I'll tell you what, it's the gimmick is out there, AEW or WWE. Go ahead and scoop it up. Just give Jake credit.
Yeah.
George St. Louis asks, Snake, what music are you listening to these days? Are you reading anything good?
As far as reading, no, I'm not. I need to get glasses.
Okay.
Punish myself for a long time by not getting them. As far as my music, man, my music stays the same, brother. I'm old rock and roll.
You like Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah, Pink Floyd, Ozzy Osbourne, the Who, the Eagles. I'm going to see the Eagles coming up pretty soon.
Where are you seeing them at?
In Atlanta. And then I'm going to Vegas to see Rod Stewart.
Hell yeah.
So that'll be rocking out.
Jake, what is like an iconic concert that you went to? Because I know you were probably a concert goer in like the 70s. You ever see like the Doors or anybody?
Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Prime Pink Floyd.
Floyd 3 times. And each time just blew me away. And I tell you, another concert I went to that was awesome was, oh boy, brain fart. Leonard Skinner.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner was awesome, brother.
The original band?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen Skinner, and Then you go even further back. I remember one of my first concerts I went to was the opening band was ZZ Top.
Okay.
And then unfortunately Rod Stewart was the closer.
Mm.
And that combination probably worked in a lot of places, but not in South Texas. They booed the shit out of Stewart, man.
Wow, why? Just because he was kind of like a...
Because he was a prissy boy.
Okay. Man, those are some killer bands to have gone and seen.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the Eagles before, or will this be your first time?
Be my first time.
So, let me say, I got to see them live here in Pittsburgh, and it was a hell of a show.
I bet.
They have Vince Gill now in their band, singing a lot of their stuff, and dude, he is unbelievable.
Cool.
Yeah, you're gonna dig it. Jesse asks, who is the greatest female wrestler of all time and why?
I don't know, man. There's too many ways to go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go old school, I'd say Lalani Kai.
Wow.
You know, old school.
Yes.
And main reason is because she could beat most of the men too.
I've heard she's nothing to mess with.
No, she's not, brother. She beats the shit out of people, man. And enjoy did it.
Now, Medusa is a name that I know gets brought up a lot, and she actually filled in for you here recently. She's a tough cookie too.
Oh yeah, she's all girl. Whoop some ass.
She told a great story about you on the podcast, scaring the shit out of her with a snake in like Singapore or something.
Yeah, she kind of lost her shit.
Jake, while we're on the topic of female wrestlers, Chyna, what were your thoughts on her as a performer?
You know, I didn't get to see enough stuff. I really didn't. And, I regret it. But I didn't. I didn't get an opportunity to really see a lot of her stuff.
Irreplaceable look, for sure. You know, certainly left an indelible mark.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Pete Deegan is up next. What modern day wrestlers does Jake think would fit would have fit well in his era?
Another Jake. Jake at AEW.
Jake Hager.
I think he would have fit real well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my guy would have fit real well.
Hell yes.
You know, real well. He might even have been the champ. You know, had he come along at the right time.
Like almost certainly, this was back in the days where Hogan was getting treated like Rocky Balboa. They just kept, you know, the monsters were getting bigger and bigger. Just imagine him and Lance Archer.
Yeah, it would have been awesome, man.
Nick Newmeyer asks, does Jake have any stories about Demolition?
Nope.
Our pals Barry Darso and Bill Eadie, those guys kept to themselves pretty much. No stories.
Yeah, class act, brother. Class act. They
good dudes.
Took care of themselves and Mr. Fuji. And they were just a class act.
Good dudes. Dan Aver has a similar question, except it's about Bob Backlund. Any good Bob Backlund stories?
He's a fucking maniac. Are you kidding? That guy is legit psycho.
What gave you that impression?
He's just, that guy is so strong. It's incredible. He's a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
And just he'll fucking lose it, man, and start screaming and shit. It scares the fuck out of me.
Just like randomly start screaming in the locker room?
Yeah. He does it at signings. He'll grab somebody in a fucking hole and just scream like crazy.
I've heard that he like at signings, if a kid comes up to him out in public and says like, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" He tries to make him like recite all the presidents or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. He makes them, show them how smart they are. Makes it first.
It's funny, man. Ted and I were talking about him on our podcast not too long ago, and Ted was like, he had this kind of like an Opie Taylor type look to him. Like he just looked like this, like an unimposing kid from
Right.
next door. He was like, but he would fucking stretch you.
Oh, he'll fucking hurt you in a second, man. I remember back in the late 70s, he came to Mid-South, and they brought a kid from LSU. It was like 6'8", 350 fucking pounds to challenge a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wanted to get in there. And, because if you get in that ring and you lose, your fucking shit's over.
Yeah.
And Backlund raises his hands and says, I'll take you. And everybody's like, oh, fuck no, man. But he went out there. And all he did was grab the guy in a fucking headlock. He grabbed that guy in that headlock and squeezed so fucking hard the guy passed out.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fucking incredible, man. And it didn't take long either.
Man, the freak athlete.
Yeah. Yeah. He still is.
He looks like he's still in good shape.
Oh, he's in unbelievable shape.
And I think I saw him with those like Persian clubs or whatever, like Sheik used to use.
Yeah. He does it all, man.
Dude, there's another guy, one of one, but a maniac.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, legit.
Hey guys, need to call a quick timeout here. Wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my listeners over at OU didn't know for a while now about all the cool things happening over at adsfreeshows.com.
On the latest edition of The False Finish, Zach Gowen talks about reaching the top of the pro wrestling world against incredible physical odds before issues with immaturity got in his way.
It's not a talent issue, it's a maturity issue. We want to see you continue to wrestle, try new characters, become a heel, try new things, find a groove. The door is open, just mature a little bit. But it was almost fatherly, the way he sat me down and explained to me exactly why I was being released. And I'll always remember that, and I'll always thank Jim Ross every time I see him for that.
As Dog and Casio finished up their latest Ask Dog Anything, they kept the party going for ad-free shows members, answering more questions on a bonus overrun.
We were the main event. Me and Brian Christopher were the main event. Doug was in a up there match. Jamie Dundee was in a tag title match, I'm sure. And we just stopped and started playing pool and drinking. Like, that was what we did. We pulled through the median and turned around and just called from a payphone and said, yeah, our car can't make it.
That's just a small taste of what we got waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from, see for yourself why Ads-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adsfreeshows.com.
Weapon X 1972 asks, what sports outside of football and wrestling are your favorites?
Synchronized swimming's up there.
Is it really?
No.
You said it so deadpan. I was like, what?
Roller derby. No. I like the big 3, basketball, football, baseball.
Hard to beat. Jake, who's the biggest name athlete you have ever met?
Ali.
Wow, that's easy for sure, Ali.
Yeah.
Great question here from Robert Szlewski. If all of the circumstances had been ideal and you had the chance to get a retirement match at WrestleMania like Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels did, who would you want the match to be against and why?
Oh my God.
That's a hell of a question.
Vince McMahon, so I could fucking kick his ass. I'd love to DDT that motherfucker in a chair.
Oh God. Well, that would be a hell of a way to end the career.
Drop him on the concrete like I did Steamboat.
How do you think your payoff would be after dropping McMahon?
Probably about as bad as they always were.
Andrew Hesser asks, Jake, what's the biggest bump you ever took in your career?
It was a line of Coke about this long. And it was really thick.
That is a big bump.
Oh my God. I remember it gagged me and I puked and I swallowed my puke. It's about the biggest bump I ever took.
Did you ever like take a top rope bump or
Yeah, I fell off the top rope one time.
And that was enough for you?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Jake, what kind of a payoff would you need if they wanted you to go out there and do a thumbtack bump?
Oh, it would take some cash, brother.
That just seems fucking miserable to me.
Yeah. It would take 50 grand at least.
Last one for the week, and then I'll let you go, Jake. Freshman asks, given what happened backstage at All In, I was wondering if Jake ever got into a physical altercation with anyone backstage during his time in wrestling.
No.
Never?
No. There were some close calls, but it never happened.
So, like, do you have any recollection on, like, any arguments that were coming close to possibly getting to blows?
With me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one with Davey Boy Smith.
Okay.
But it never happened.
Now, was that a result of him trying to blow you up in, like, 96 or whatever?
He was fucking with the snake.
Okay. Jake, I heard a rumor about them fucking with the snake by throwing lit cigarettes into the snake bag, right?
Right.
But then you got a rebuttal of your own, if I understand the story right.
Yeah, I fed their dog like 6 hot dogs with chili.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the outcome of that one?
It went all over the room.
And that
dog shit all over their clothes. Dog shit everywhere.
And that was the moment when it almost came to blows with him?
It was after that, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know that you and he had a tumultuous relationship at times. Great performer, another guy gone too soon. But yeah, I've heard that he could be a little stiff with that sort of thing.
You know, I had nothing against Davey. I don't know why it ever come to why it did, you know, but I wanted to actually work with him.
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen, man.
Well, it's a shame because, God, you know, think of the houses the two of you could have drawn along the way.
We could have. We should.
Would have been something special.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, that's going to do it for this week. Again, next week, we'll pick back up with 1988 and a look back at the first ever SummerSlam 35 years ago. It takes place in MSG. Jake wrestles Hercules, and we will have plenty to discuss.
Oh, you're damn right, man.
Guys, if you're looking to attract that 25 to 54-year-old male demographic to your product or service, why haven't you gone to advertise with Snake.com yet? Jake is a legitimate household name. He's still over like Rover, and you can get him to put over your stuff to the exact audience you're targeting. If you need evidence that it works, just listen to our show. We routinely advertise for the same businesses because they know that the stuff that we do works. It's a super targeted audience. You will 100% get the most bang for your buck when you go to advertise with snake.com and team up with the Hall of Famer Jake the Snake Roberts. JakeTheSnakeShop.com is your destination for rare signed collectibles straight from Jake himself. We're talking about autographed figures, 8x10s, much more. How about some sculptures made by Sin Bodhi? Handmade sculptures. Well, Jake has got like a Greek statue over there that looks amazing. He's also got little Jake heads, half his skull, half his Jake's face, and it's the perfect thing for like your desk or your man cave. It would look beautiful in there. Just go over there and take a look, find out for yourself. By the way, all of the stuff that's over there, Jake will sign for you. So just go to JakeTheSnakeShop.com and add a new centerpiece to your wrestling collection. Head over to cameo.com/Jake Snake for a personal message from the Hall of Famer. Here's a recent review from Tommy. Words cannot describe how much inspiration this man has given me. Small price to pay for a video that will give me a lifetime of encouragement. Thanks again, Jake. If you're a lifelong fan, you've got to get a cameo from Jake. This guy is a bona fide part of pop culture, and he can send you a personal message. Look, this is especially great if you cannot get out to see Jake at one of his signings and you'd like to have some kind of an interaction with him. Jake is awesome at these. He puts a lot of effort into them, and you can get yours at cameo.com/JakeSnake. If you're looking for cool vintage style merchandise, we've got you covered over at boxofgimmicks.com. We've got some badass shorts over there. We've got tank tops. And by the way, it's starting to get a little bit chilly outside. Don't worry, we've got you covered on that too. We've got sweatshirts. We've got hoodies. We've got all kinds of stuff over there, and it's all super stylish, all a throwback to the best generation of professional wrestling, the golden era from the 80s and 90s. So again, just go over there and have a look for yourself. I think you're going to like what you find. It's the Snake Pit page at boxofgimmicks.com. Check us out at YouTube at youtube.com/@SnakePitPod for short clips from our show, highlights, and some exclusive content. We also recently did a giveaway for subscribers there, and we're going to keep doing those. So all you have to do to be eligible to get your hands on some of this signed merchandise for free from Jake the Snake Roberts is subscribe over on our YouTube channel. While you're there, why not hit the notifications bell? It's all free, and it provides you with an opportunity to own some exclusive signed merchandise. Also, if you've enjoyed our podcast, please do us a favor, subscribe and leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform. That kind of stuff helps us out a bunch. Just a reminder, you can get the Snake Pit and all the other shows in our network early and ad-free at adfreeshows.com. It starts at just $9 a month. We're talking about less than 15 cents an episode each month. And it's all of your favorite wrestling podcasts all in one place. Plus, there's a ton of bonus content over there. There's interactive chats with some of your favorite hosts. We just had Larry Zbyszko over on adfreeshows.com, and our members got to chat with the living legend himself. Guys, if you're not a member and you're a wrestling fan, truly you are missing the boat. Just head over to adfreeshows.com today and get signed up. And by the way, you get to try a free trial over there right now. Again, it's adfreeshows.com. Catch Jake on Twitter at JakeSnakeDDT, on Instagram at JakeTheSnakeDDT, and on Facebook at Real Jake the Snake. You can follow me at Marcus P. D'Angelo on Twitter. I guess it's X now. And you can follow the podcast at Snake Pit Pod on all social media platforms. Guys, we can't wait to get back into it next week, and we'll catch you next time right here on The Snake Pit.
Eric Bischoff here again, telling you about our friends over at SaveWithConrad.com. Now, Conrad's always talking about how they are helping homeowners save money, but did you know that Conrad and his team can also help you become a homeowner? They make the home buying process more enjoyable than, I don't know, making out with Stephanie and Linda. Ouch! But don't take my word for it.
Hi, I'm Sarah Davis, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. So my husband has been a huge fan of Conrad's podcast for many, many years. And for years, we were on road trips, and he would have me listen to it. And then I got really into it. And so when it came time for us to buy a house, it was kind of like, there's really no other option at this point. Like, we have to go down this path, right? It was the best. I worked with Steve. I don't know what to do. I was looking more for preparing to buy a house. How do I get this in order? What does this need to look like? What do I need to move around? What's more important that I pay off first? Because I'm a first-time home buyer. I don't know what that needs to look like. So that's when I called you guys and I talked with Steve, and phenomenal from day one. I got a full education on home buying before I was ever asked to fill out an application, before I was ever asked to do anything, which is just, I mean, I cannot brag on you guys enough. I literally cannot tell enough people about you, because we would not have a home if it weren't for you, if it weren't for that interaction and weren't for the learning process. And I feel like I went into being a first-time home buyer by the time we got through the end of the process with the same education that people need 4 or 5 homes to buy. And so now I feel like, all right, well, we can do this. We can do real estate. I can actually make good decisions and ask good questions at closing and beyond because of everything that you taught me. My name is Sarah Davis, and I got into my dream home with Save with Conrad.
And unlike the dirt sheets, we're not making this up. Check out all the 5-star reviews. Go to SaveWithConrad.com and do it today. You'll be grateful you did.
NMLS number 65084, Equal Housing Lender. Woo!